Welcome back to Condors Unleashed. Ryan Holt, Kevin Bartle here inside the Dignity Health Studios at the Bakersfield, Californian. And again, more adjusting. There's more adjusting of cameras in this show. No, behind this. Oh, it's behind the scenes stuff. Joined by a very well dressed Troy Mann. Look at this polo here today.
Coach, I love that polo.
I mean, that's a sharp polo.
Thanks, guys. Always looking good for you guys.
Lululemon's not just for women. It's also for men.
That's right.
That's what I heard.
They make great products. Anyways, Condors head coach Troy Mann with us, and 4-0 week, Coach. I mean, is there a smile on your face here? Can we get a smile? I mean, it's a pretty good week.
Well, 8 points is good. 8 points is good. I mean, there's always room for improvement, right? When it comes to the play on the ice.
He lost his voice. Did you lose your voice mid-timeout on Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, those are just one of those things where I thought it was the proper time to unleash, so to speak. And I thought we were kind of losing the game that was completely in our hands. And, I thought the timing was right. And, had to gather my thoughts for a few seconds and then, certainly let them have it a little bit.
We've said repeatedly this season Vegas is a team that hangs around, but I really think the Condors were letting them hang around on Sunday. That was their game for the taking.
Yeah, no, and when you look at their schedule and everything, they should have been the fresher team on Sunday. We played that big emotional game Friday night in Ontario, and they were rested. And I thought they had some opportunities early in the game. Even though we seemed to have the puck a lot more than them, I thought Pickard was called upon 4 or 5 different times early in that game, and but once we got the 2-0 lead, I thought we were totally in control and just lost our focus for not only the 2 goals, but there was a shift or two prior to that I just felt it unraveling, so to speak.
It's one thing to lay into your team on the bench in a 2-2 hockey game in a third period. It's another thing to have your team respond, and what's that team do after the timeout? I mean, that timeout happened with about 10 minutes left in the hockey game. From then on, it was all Condors.
Yeah, I thought it was actually, I think, 13:31 left in the third when I called that timeout, and I thought we clearly dominated the rest of that game and deserved the goal based on how we played. And, fans don't always see the type of, after period breaks and that you always get in there and there's some emotional times as well. But, that was certainly called for during that game where I felt that we were in control, needed to win it, and the guys definitely responded, and I told them that after the game that I thought it was a great response, and how all the team kind of dug in, so to speak, and pulled it out.
You started the game, you get Miller back into the lineup, first time ever with Broda and Miller both in the lineup. They started on separate lines. It looked like you were mixing them in together as the game was going on, but by the third period, it was basically Miller, Broda, and Shaber, and that line was really good.
Yeah, and I thought that Millsy actually looked pretty good with Thurber and Collins early, and I don't know if it was a product of, Cauley looked re-energized, and I thought he played one of his best games in a long time, so I didn't know if that was just a product of, Cauley playing at the top of his game and being rejuvenated after being out for a couple games, and I think Thurber certainly feeds off Cauley, and their line was really good, but, I wasn't overly thrilled with the Broda line for the course of that game, and I've been wanting to see how Millsy would fit with Broads, and I thought they were excellent. And the other player that really came on and might have been the best player on the ice for both teams was Spencer Bennett, who started the game as a 10th forward. And I just, as the game went on, I kept feeling that he deserved to play more, and he played real well with Thurber and Collins there too in that third period.
His speed adds a lot to that line.
Yeah, and we've talked about our team speed all year, and I think Millsy, since he's come on board, adds to that. But I think Spencer, could be arguably our fastest forward and probably is our fastest guy.
No secret as well, the Condors of this week getting some defensemen back and really a shutdown defensive effort pretty much all week long, aside from that little spurt in Vegas on Tuesday night. But you get another defenseman back today as well. Joey Leach coming back from Oklahoma City. That's our big news announcement that we.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, I'm allowed to say it. Yeah, I just said it.
All right.
I can only get in trouble so many times in one day.
True.
But Joey Leach coming back from the American Hockey League. I think a longer stint up in the American Hockey League than most had anticipated, but seems like he played pretty well up there as well.
Yeah, they were very happy with his play, and Leachy's come along, since October in terms of working on the things that he needed to get better at to play at that next level. And we knew at some point that he would be reassigned here to help us in the playoffs. And I thought that he became one of our shutdown guys and one of our best PK guys. I think he is one of those guys that deserves a lot of credit for where our PK percentage is, right now in the league. And there was nights where even the last minute of the game, protecting a 1-goal lead, Murph had him on the ice. So it's going to be good to get him back and just get our 8D pretty much set for the playoffs. And this is a big weekend as well because we still have the ability to move up the standings, and we want to make sure that we have as best lineup we can here starting Friday night.
I think talking about the D, it's a great segue to our video that we have.
We got video this week, and we have Coach break down some video.
Yeah, we've got, we've talked about the lefty-righty matchup, all year long in terms of wanting guys to play on your forehands. You prefer it as forwards as well, but I think
this is something really that, I don't think the fans really think about this when they go, they see the 2D out there, but you have a reason why you're playing each guy on their particular side.
Yeah, you want guys in their forehands. It's just easier to defend off the rush. It's easier to close it down low in D-zone coverage, and stick positioning is such a key. And nowadays, with the way the game's played, that you're better off being able to make plays on your forehand side. Now, it doesn't always work out perfectly because of recruiting, and it doesn't matter what level you're at, whether you're AHL or NHL, it's not going to be perfect. But ideally, I think every coach you talk to would prefer the 3 lefties, 3 righties when it comes to your 6D. And we were very fortunate over the course of most of this year to have that. And I think it's made us a better team in terms of our breakout ability, in terms of having clean breakouts, and our neutral zone transition, which has become a big part of our game to have guys play on their forehand. So, we have 5 or 6 clips here, and we could go at this all day in terms of video breakdown. But, here's a neutral zone or a breakout counter, and if he pauses right there, now Marciano, he's a right shot playing his offside. Now he's got to turn his body, he's got to open up, which telegraphs passes. And the play that should be made here is to the strong side winger here. Easy play. He's on his wrong side. It's not easy to make plays here. And what happens is he goes across his body to the other side, and it ends up in not a clean breakout. And we want clean breakouts. So go ahead, and if he rolls this, you can see where he should have made the play. It goes off of Vegas guy, and now Vegas has got the puck. And here's another one. Bowman goes back on his backhand. Pause it right there. So I'd prefer, if it's a lefty, he goes in there, he stabs that puck to the weak side to his partner, and even attempts to get out of the way, because we want the D to avoid hits as much as we can. So Bowman, in my opinion, because he's on his offside, going back for pucks, he doesn't get back to the puck properly. And on top of that, he's not in good position here. So now it's a turnover or a battle, at least in D-zone coverage. And if the clip rolls, Bowman ends up taking a penalty on this, and next thing you know, we're on PK.
Right. So, and now when you say, and if we could pause it here, when you say he's not in good position, you're not being critical of him. You're just saying that because he's on his wrong side, right, that it hurts him.
Yes, it does hurt him. And in my opinion, if a left shot went back for that, it would have been an easier play to his partner, potentially not only getting the puck to the weak side and keeping it moving because we want clean breakouts. He was probably, could at least avoid the hit as well. So Bowman not only has to take a hit, he doesn't get to the puck. He can't get it to his partner. Now we're in D-zone coverage, and now Bowman's going to take a penalty here in about 5 seconds. So if that clip rolls, Bowman takes a penalty right there. And I think if we had a left shot D going back for that puck, it wouldn't have been that case. Here's another one. Off the rush there, Ian Barteau, left shot, his stick positioning is just way off there, and he gets beat off the rush. Another one, Marciano, on his offside there, gets beat for a great opportunity. And I think that was, another reason why. Now, here's a tough play here. If he pauses that, now Bergdorfer played his offside on Sunday, because we changed it up. We want to give him a look there because Bowman has been playing. This is a very difficult play. If you think about a left shot D coming in this puck, he's going to have his face up. He's going to have his toe caps up. He's going to have his stick along the boards, easier to take the play. This is a very difficult play for a right D here and a lefty over to make this play. Now, Bergie makes it, and he does a good job. But could you imagine if this guy was even under a tremendous amount of pressure, how hard it is for Bergie to make that play. Now, he makes it, and it goes low with it, so hats off to Bergie. Very, very difficult play to make on your backhand there, right. And facing our goalie. Yeah. He's facing our goalie. We want him facing They're
their
goalie,
goalie.
right?
And if he turns a puck over there, now
He's
they're coming the
flat-footed.
other way, and he's out of position
Yes.
even to get back and recover.
This is what I'm talking about. You compared Bowman going back for that puck on his backhand. Watch Hughes as a left shot, and we've worked on this all year. He goes back, pause it right there. He gets inside positioning. He stabs it to his partner. He avoids getting a hit. We don't want our D to get hit. So he he stabs it to his partner, clean breakout. We're gone the other way. Watch this.
Great clip.
Hey, partner's on his right side. Now Shaver makes the play, and we're gone the other way.
It's a
So
great clip.
that's what we want on our breakouts, and that's why we want lefty-righty matchups. Right
I
there.
mean, I think that you could watch hockey as a fan for 20, 30 years and not really even think about something like that. And there have been guys, and maybe especially forwards, who have played their offside very successfully, but it's a big difference when you're talking about defensemen.
It's certainly a skill, even from a forward standpoint, to take that on your backhand and make that play off the wall. It's not an easy thing. As a coach, you'd prefer, everybody, even from a forward position, playing your forehand side, so to speak. It doesn't always work out because of personnel, but it is a skill set to be able to make. Offensively, forwards may like to come off into the offenses on their offside, but in saying that, defensively, it's very tough, and it's it's a skill you need to work at.
Looking at this week, the season's kind of flown by, Coach. It's the end of the regular season. Playoffs start next week. All along here over the last couple of weeks, we talked about just playing our game, letting the chips fall as they may, figuring out as it goes along. But are we scoreboard watching a little bit tonight? Are we checking out any games here this evening? Stockton's in action, Colorado's in action, Alaska, Ontario, just to get a feel for what might happen here come this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple games tonight we're keeping our eye on, and certainly there's, prefers certain teams win tonight, and but overall, I think we want to finish as high as we can, and who we play next weekend, I don't think it matters right now. Playoffs are a whole different beast altogether, and I think it's for us as we want to win as many hockey games as we can, have the best regular season record we possibly can, and if that means fifth, we'll take fifth. If we end up somehow finishing seventh and still play good hockey this weekend, then we'll accept that. But I don't want to come Monday morning think that we haven't played some good hockey and finish, seventh, so to speak. So it should be an interesting week, and we'll keep an eye on things tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to give the pre-scout videos out next week.
Yeah,
though.
probably not.
I don't think we're doing any of that next week.
Next week we'll be talking about playoffs, so I feel like now is the time to say, hey, I'd like to congratulate you and Murph and Willie on a good season. I think this team has come a long ways and a lot of ups and downs this year, and I give you guys a lot of credit for holding things together, and the guys as well for holding that room together, and going into the playoffs strong.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I think everybody had talked about our start, and some teams don't recover from that, and we made personnel changes, and we just kept working in practice, which I think is a big. I'm a huge believer in practice. It makes perfect, so to speak, in terms of getting your team on the same page, and I think we've been complimented from several people in terms of this team is structured and this team come to work every day, and as a coach, all you can hope for is that you have work ethic and you play with a structured game, because I think at the end of the day, if you have those two components, you have a good chance of winning the hockey game. And I would say you need a good goalie as well. And
He's not bad.
That helps.
I think every team knows going into playoffs that your goaltender is going to be your best player. And when it comes to MVP voting come June, doesn't matter what league you're in, the goaltender either wins playoff MVP, and if not, he's either second or third in voting. So
Right.
we've got a horse that I think hopefully can help us get there, and it's going to take more than just him. It's going to take some luck. It's going to take some injuries that don't happen to key personnel and all that good stuff. But we like our team, and we're just anxious and excited to get going.
Condors are going to be a tough out. I think that's the expression. Going to
Yeah.
be a tough out in the playoffs. Not going to be easy to go through Condors.
No, it's not
going
going to be easy, and to his point, when you look at the teams that you're worried about out west, they all have great goaltenders. And I think the Condors are a team that a lot of clubs probably don't want to face going in. So,
Well, Coach, we'll let you get back to it.
Okay, thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
the time as always.
Excellent.
Thanks for breaking down some video.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Coach.
some pizza on your way out. When we come back, Andrew Carroll will join us. We'll talk about his smoothie making. We won't break down the smoothies.
we're not going to do
We're not
that.
going to make the smoothies, but we'll talk about the smoothie making. We'll also talk about playoffs, because he's a guy who's been there before. He can tell us about it. I've never been there, so we'll find out. Andrew Carroll next. Condors Unleashed.